Final boarding call for all remaining passengers. Please now make your way to the gate. The podcast is about to begin.
Welcome to this episode of Let's Talk About Travel, and this week we are going to delve into the world of adventure, and I'm delighted to be joined on this episode with my good friend and colleague Amy Burt from Newmarket Holidays, who is the account manager for Scotland and Northern Ireland, so that's a big area. Welcome to the show, Amy.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to see you, and we can talk a wee bit about Newmarket in a minute because it's just that, you know, Adventure Holidays is where it's at just now. We're seeing a huge increase, but before we get to that, let's talk a little bit about Amy and your journey in travel. So tell us how you got started in travel, Amy.
So taking you a long time ago, so 24 years ago.
You're never that old.
Well, I started when I was 5.
So did I.
I'm really not that old. But 24 years ago, my parents allowed me to take a year off. I'd just done some work experience at the school, do you know, when you get that week out of high school, and I had worked at Thomas Cook in that week. Really liked it, so they said you can have a week off before you go to university, you could do whatever you like, and I chose to work in travel, funnily enough. So I'm now on my 24th year out, never went back to uni. It just wasn't for me. I started travelling the world, started talking to loads of people, which I'm really good at, apparently, and earning some money and stuff, and I just loved it, so I never looked back. So I kind of fell into travel after that year out, but I can't imagine working anywhere else.
It's in your blood, isn't it? It has to be, though, because being in travel isn't the best paid industry.
No.
But there's no other industry like it. It's the people make it.
Yeah, job satisfaction.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
And you get to travel the world as well. So
work-life balance for me, especially now, obviously I'm in a completely different position now to what I was 24 years ago. But that's grown with me. So is my job roles. And now I found myself looking after Scotland and Northern Ireland for Newmarket Holidays.
And it's such a lovely product as well. But you've got a little boy now, so
I have.
Life looks different.
Very much so. So yes, I've got a fur baby. She's 5. Same fur baby as you.
Yes.
Bichons, our dogs, they're little Bichons. And then Albie's 3. So, and a lot of people say, I bet your life's changed, because I do travel a lot. Like yourself, we constantly talk about this, don't we? And no, it hasn't. So he's just completed his 36th flight.
Oh my goodness, and he's 3.
And he's 3, he's just turned 3.
I do think you need to get an Instagram page for him, though.
Everybody's constantly saying
Albie's
this
Adventures.
Albie's Adventures. Everybody's saying it's so easy. And he's really, really good, although he's not impressed that EasyJet flights, don't have any TVs. So he's a bit entitled at the moment.
Well, he has been all over the world, to be fair. And
so I'm going to take him camping.
No, you're not.
No, I might get my husband to take him camping.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to ground him a little bit. But he's really, really good. But that would be a recommendation to, if you do have kids, don't stop travelling. Just include them in it. Let them see the world. Let them get that life experience. And that's what I got. That's what he's getting. Can't think anything better to do with them.
I know. And it does, travel definitely broadens the horizons.
Absolutely.
I come from West Kilbride, and there's so many people that I went to school with that think the world stops at the A78, and they go to Benidorm or Blackpool every year, and that's it. And you think, come on, the world is an amazing place. So good for you for getting them.
That comfort zone. I'm the same. I live in Fife. You can hear from my tones. We sing when we talk. But I constantly maybe walk down my local high street and I'll get, are you here this week? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. But if I could live a lot of my life on an aeroplane, then regardless of where I'm going, I'll do it.
And it's good you can get to take him sometimes with you as
Absolutely.
well.
And, my husband too, sometimes he gets to come along. We need somebody to carry the luggage.
Correct. So Newmarket Holidays, tell us, who are Newmarket? What's the history of Newmarket?
Yeah. So first of all, it's nothing to do with the racecourse. I do constantly get asked for tips on horses. Sometimes I make it up just to make my day a little bit brighter. Race 3. Go with horse 4. So Newmarket, we're based down in Wallington, down in Surrey. The company is 43 years old now, and it's just went from strength to strength. I've been with the company 6 years now. I got made redundant in my last role just during COVID, and Newmarket came to us with this opportunity to look after Scotland and Northern Ireland, and they knew the business and the potential that was up here, but they didn't have someone based up here. and Scottish people by Scottish people, and they really do like to back that, really. So they came to me with this, which was good because there was a lot of people in our industry looking for jobs back there. So it kind of fell into my lap. It was an industry, part of the industry I hadn't worked in before, but I was willing to give it a go. As long as they did Scottish departures, which I'm sure we'll come on to.
Absolutely, talk about that.
So there was a lot of background in that. They did say it was like I was interviewing them at some point when I first started, but that was quite a good thing. And then I'm nearly at 6 years. So
and a lot of changes in the last 6 years,
massive
and all
changes.
Positive with your input with Scottish flights, because that is so important to the Scottish.
So the company started off doing like bus trips throughout the UK, and they would drive up a little bit further, pick more people up. I think one of the first European ones that they did, they took people out 40 years ago, they took them over to France, they took them over on a Sunday, everything was shut. There was nobody changed their money, they brought them back, and I think the ferry actually broke down or nearly sank on the way back. So that's the story, I think, of the start of the company. But now we visit obviously over 60 countries now, escorted touring, and I like to think that we're just going from strength to strength, just looking at new different destinations. We're a bigger team now out on the road than we've ever been, so we're trying to cover all aspects of the UK just to make sure that you guys as the agents in the travel trade are well looked after. And that's our focus, which is good.
I think you made a really good point about Scottish people buy from Scottish people. I know, you know, from our point of view, when we're dealing with suppliers, and there is so much to choose from out there, we will always tend to stick with suppliers that have got a Scottish representation. Because if things do go wrong, and things do go wrong, nobody can, you know, travel is such a you know, difficult industry, and there's so many parts of the jigsaw have to fit together, and sometimes that just doesn't happen. So if I can lift the phone to yourself and have that support, even out of hours, which you've done for me in the past,
I have.
And that is so important. So we will always, so when suppliers come to us and say, what one thing can you do for us? Put somebody in Scotland, you know, that we've got a point of contact. And what Newmarket have done in the last few years in Scotland is amazing.
Thank you.
And next year we've just had the 27 programme released with all these new Scottish departures. So well done.
We have. And hot off the press, we've actually just launched 2028 as well.
Oh, wow. But I think, you know, people think, 27, 28, that's a nightmare. But what Newmarket offer is like bucket list experiences.
Absolutely.
So people can plan financially to, maybe they're thinking of retiring, or maybe they've got a special birthday, or want to do a multi-generation, which is what we're seeing a lot of.
Multi-generational families are massive at the moment. And that's why we kind of changed the way that we work, especially coming out of COVID, like I've mentioned a couple of times now. But coming out of COVID, people's changed. The way that people are trying to look at these bucket list destinations, and they are stepping out the comfort zone. You guys are even offering something different if somebody does come in for the norm, as a lot of people say. If they're coming in for that, what a lot of people are paying for bog standard bucket and spade holidays nowadays, they could be on one of our escorted tours and just see a little bit of the world and see something a little bit different, but they might not necessarily know it exists. And that's the main thing. So when they come and see the experts like you guys at LAH, it's nice because I know your girls do it. Go for that. You could actually go to India or Japan or South Africa or Italy, even if they don't want to fly the long haul.
But not just going flying flop,
but flying flop and just actually experience. And a lot of people will go on holiday and experience that area, but they'll pay up and over the odds for it. So why not just have it all organised for you and it'll be there when you're there, which is good. So we've thought that forward, but people are planning so much more in advance now. So that's where we're trying to also get ahead of that. So that's why we've just launched 2028.
Yeah, and I also think you've changed the face of escorted tours. You know, back in the day, it was all about...
Not my face, I hope.
But, you know, when you thought about escorted tours, it was, you know, your oldies, retired people, and that is so not what it's about. So many more families are doing escorted tours now, the younger generation, because why would you want to go and hire a car and go through all that stress? I know when my husband and I hire a car, we're lucky we're not divorced by the time the car's going back, because it's bad enough in this country trying to direct him, but abroad, a whole new level of rage.
I know.
So sit back, you can enjoy a glass of wine with your lunch, don't have to worry about driving. And actually...
And it's being with other people that's in that same frame of mind as you and that want the same experience as you. We like to say groups of like-minded people at Newmarket, because it is, and you're all there for the same purpose, but you want to enjoy it, and you meet so many different people when you're on the escorted tour. And we also do like solo travels for solo travellers.
Solo travel now.
That's massive. But solo travel is also not just for single people. So we have a lot of like girls that do like girlfriend holidays, for instance, but they want to go in single rooms. They don't want to pay double for the room, so they go on a solo. But then they'll also go on one of our other tours with their partners or their friends or their families, because we do such a vast range of destinations now. So
yeah, I mean, you do a little bit of everything, really.
We do.
So one of the things that we've done a lot with you in the last few years, and I've actually booked myself, is the Wimbledon trips that you do.
Yes.
And when they go on sale, it's crazy.
We took over 5,500 people to Wimbledon on finals weekend last year.
And you'll probably do
This
the
year,
same.
sorry.
Yeah, next
And
year,
the same.
maybe even be more.
Next year we're hoping to be a little bit bigger, but the amount of staffing that we have down there, that's why I've not been, Linda, because I'm not a high vis kind of person. And I know that they would end up with me with a high vis on, but it's incredible, the packages that we put together, just even like that. Or even, we do quite a bit in the UK, even not just Wimbledon, but other escorted tours in the UK, like Scottish Highland Railways, for instance, or little trains in the Isle of Man. Loads of different product that people, like I was saying, just don't know it exists in the areas that they're travelling to. So we're trying to broaden the travel agent's mind, but also broaden the customer's mind. And by coming into you guys, they'll always get recommended something that little bit different. Yeah. And we can provide that. Which is
and you do every country, because, I mean, customers come in and say, even something like, I want to go to Croatia. Well, okay, we'll give you a holiday to Croatia, but let's have a look and see if there's a tour as well. Yeah. Which you can really be immersed in the destination.
That's it.
And not just go, you know, if you fly to Dubrovnik and stay in a hotel for a week, you're not really seeing Croatia, are you? Yeah.
And it's nice for people to be a little bit open-minded, like what you say. People's perception of an escorted tour is where somebody's walking at the front with a little red flag and you're trying to keep up with them. My colleague Wayne constantly calls them Harry and Betty's on the bus, where they've got their handbag on their knee. And if you look to the left, you'll see escorted touring's so much more, if you want to use the word, Instagrammable nowadays. And it's about seeing more of that destination and providing these shared experiences, if you like, for groups of like-minded people. And that's what we do best.
Yeah, and you do it very well.
Thank you.
And we've had great feedback from our customers. And as you say, once they've done one, they're going to look at doing.
They'll never look back.
One of the most popular ones that we find is the Elvis trip.
That's our top selling tour by far.
Oh, is it? Right, okay. Well, it's our top selling one for you as well.
It's our top selling tour, and it has been for many, many years now. What we do in Elvis in a day, I know that there's, like, you would think that I'm showing you what we do in a week. And that's just on that one tour. Sometimes we have to have 2 buses on certain days, especially like the Christmas dates, for instance.
Oh, really?
When we load 2027, like what you were mentioning, as soon as we launched that and launched the Christmas dates for Elvis, I thought it was strange when I first started, Linda. I'm not going to lie. Where is all these Elvis enthusiasts coming
I know, all
from?
the secret Elvis fans.
Like, where is this? I don't get it.
I don't want to admit it, but I'm a wee bit of an Elvis fan.
Yeah, well,
Who's
I
not,
wasn't.
though?
Well, I wasn't.
You are now, though.
Well, yeah, because I've been now. And Albie was only 10 months old at the time, and my brother lives in Atlanta, and it flies in and out of Atlanta, because it does, like the story, you go through Tupelo, you visit his birthplace, and you go and visit his house, and then you go like through the Mississippi and then up into, and you also go to New Orleans and Nashville and stuff after it. So it's a big selling tour. But we were out in Atlanta, and one of our product managers said, like, you've been invited to go to Graceland. I was like, oh, really? My husband was like, not everybody gets invited to Graceland. No. So for Albie, he was 10 months old. Chris didn't let me dress him up as Elvis, so I was a bit annoyed. But anyway.
you dress your dog up, so come on.
It's not every day that you get invited to go and stay at a beautiful 4-star hotel across the road from Graceland and go and visit Graceland. So off we went, and it was incredible. Found it really sad. Like, I feel like I cried. It doesn't take much nowadays, but it was so good. And every time I get in my husband's car now, Chris has got Elvis playing. So yeah,
it's iconic, isn't it?
I'm a new Elvis fan, but I do get it now. But people go back time and time and time again. So we've actually got 4 or 5 now, different versions of that one Elvis tour, and that's for people that want to go back in and around the area, because it's not really just about Graceland.
No, not at all. And you know, we've got flights from Scotland.
We do.
So
We
I
do.
posted it on Facebook last night because I was like, yay, we've been asking, so it's happening.
I mean, nobody in aviation speaks to me now, I'll have to admit, but that's okay. As long as my agents up here still speak to me, that's okay.
Do you just want a Scottish departure for every single tour?
Yes. It is possible. It is possible. When I started at Newmarket Holidays, we had 12 departures out of Scotland. We now have over 85.
Brilliant.
Which is
You're doing your
fantastic.
job.
It's more than any other escorted touring company out there, which is good. But you guys are selling it for me. So that's, if you don't sell it, we won't get it again.
Make it easy for us and we're going to sell it, that's for sure. So
supporting us really well, thank
another
you.
really popular tour is the India tour.
Yeah, so India, Tigers and Taj is our lead-in tour. You get 22 meals included. It's a 12-day tour. You get 9 different excursions, including 2 excursions down to the Ranthambore Tigers. You obviously get to visit the Taj Mahal, one of the wonders of the world. One of the most amazing sights I've ever seen in my lifetime.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Unreal. And it leads in at just over £1,600.
Which is your flights and,
Yeah.
as you said, all your meals. And
Just Scottish flight
I
with
know.
Qatar flights out of Edinburgh. So, yeah, a lot of people are paying that sort of money to go to Spain and Greece and Turkey and Cyprus. And it's really just because people aren't aware the value for money when you look at an escorted tour. So that's why I always say, first of all, always go and see a travel agent because they will recommend that something different. And I've got to make sure you guys are kept up to date with all the deals and stuff that we have, which hopefully I do.
You do.
I do.
You do.
No, not getting rid of me that much, but yeah. But the value in these tours is incredible, and all these like Elvis and India and stuff. I think a lot of people expect it to be
expensive.
yeah.
And
Like
it's
when
not,
I
it's
train
value for
travel
money.
agents, I'll train travel agents, and I won't go on to the next slide on India. I'll tell them everything it includes. I'll show them a couple of images, and then I'll get them to guess the price. And 9 times out of 10, they'll guess £3,000, £4,000, £5,000. If somebody guesses about the same, it kind of ruins it. But it's good when they go higher and you go on to the next one.
Well,
and
it's the perceived value, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
When any client sends a message to us or phones in and wants, the Elvis experience, my first protocol is always to look to see if there's a date, and you've got so many dates for that, so we can generally always work it round. It's just thinking outside the box.
Exactly.
And there is so many different tours to choose from. Tell me what you reckon is the most unusual tour you do.
The most unusual, we like to think out of the box, so it helps you guys to obviously recommend to your customers. If you're looking at something a little bit shorter haul, we've got some new premium tours that we've loaded. So one of my favourite ones is the Posadas and Paradors of Portugal and Spain.
That's quite hard to say.
Yes. I might not even be saying it right, Linda, but it sounds really good in my Fife accent. So the Posadas and Paradors are the same meaning. So it's Posadas in Portugal and Paradors in Spain. And a lot of people don't know what it is, but it's government-owned buildings. It could be like an old monastery or an old church or an apartment block in the city centre, for instance. But these are places of interest, and they've been made into really nice hotels in the inside.
So it's not just a camp bed near town hall then?
We don't do the camp beds, unfortunately. That's not our style. But it's really nice places of interest that sometimes it's next to a vineyard right up you and I Street, Linda.
Absolutely.
But as I say, it's all different places. That one's a little bit more slower pace, so they get to enjoy the area, because we've got so many different tours. Obviously, we've got tours that have even got a base, so you don't have to pack and unpack all the time. That's another perception of touring, that you're on the go constantly, but you get a lot of free times on a lot of our tours, which is good. But that Posadas and Paradors is something really, really interesting. The other one I really like is out in Canada. I did it on a fam trip last year with some agents. Took them out there. I was being a little bit of a diva, not going to lie. I thought, if I'm ever going to see the Canadian Rockies, I have skied in the Canadian Rockies, but if I'm going to see the rest of it, I'll have to do it on the Rocky Mountaineer, which we do, and we sell very, very well, but it does come with a higher price tag.
Yes.
So we came up with our product department came up with a really good version, but by bus. So it's the exact same itinerary, you stay in the exact same hotels, you get to see the same sites, if not more, because a bus could probably stop a lot more stops than
it does. I've
the
done
train.
both, and I know this is going to sound bizarre because having done Rocky Mountaineer and then done it by coach, I prefer coach. And the reason is, you're driving along the road in the coach, you see a bear, and they can stop.
Yes.
You're on the train, it's scheduled, it's not stopping for anybody.
You can only stop at so many stations.
And it's lovely, but I actually preferred the bus.
I just felt really relaxed, and I didn't feel as rushed for certain times to be in certain places. Obviously, the train is a bucket list for some people, but it was the actual Rockies that I wanted to see, which is the mountains. So I reminded myself of that. had a word with myself, went off on the trip, and it's probably one of the best ones I see.
It's my favourite trip I've ever
Yeah.
done. Did you combine it with Alaska at the end of it, or just the Rockies?
No, because I had to get back for that lovely 3-year-old and fur baby that we were talking about earlier. And it was a fam trip, so I was out. I wasn't with my family, obviously. I was with them. Lovely travel agents. Such a good group that made it was a work trip. But I mean, that one, you're leading in just under £2,500 for all of that, which is including your flights, obviously. And then that's including like Sulphur Mountain and Banff, where you go up the cable cars and all your different experiences, and probably more than what you would be on the train.
Yeah.
So I think that's a little bit unique. So I also didn't realise that the train tracks, the road runs alongside the train tracks.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much doing the same tour, but for probably about a third of the price, which was good. So that was quite a good one. One of the most interesting ones that we get a lot of hits on social media with travel agents is our Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book tour out in India. So it's a little bit of a different tour.
I've not seen that one. I'm going to look that one up.
It's a little bit of a different one. So that one is a bit like the story behind The Jungle Book. So we take you a little bit off the beaten track out in India. We do a lot of different experiences in India. We put a lot back into the country, and we like to employ local tour guides and stuff like that as well. But that one's a little bit special for me, I think. I won't ruin it for anybody that is looking at it, but the full itinerary, obviously, you could see through LEH Travel.
Okay.
But it is really good. But it's a bit like the story behind The Jungle Book, which is really good. So that's a little bit special.
Yeah, that's
a little bit
different. Yeah. I'm going to look at that one. And you were telling me before we came on air that you're doing an African trip later in the year.
I am.
Tell us where you're going.
I'm very excited. So taking another group of very lucky travel agents out on our Ultimate Safari, which is one of our premium collections. So we're going out in November, and we're doing Botswana, Victoria Falls and Zimbabwe. But some of the accommodation that we're staying in is just incredible. Like one of the last ones that we're staying in, the Amalinda Lodge out in Zimbabwe, is built into like a cliffside. So the swim up pool is like the infinity pool's all on the top of the cliff. And then all of the rooms are built into the cliff. So you've got like bathtubs sitting inside rock sites and stuff like that as well. And then obviously we're going to go on the safari. So the Botswana safari should be incredible. I'm very excited because you do a lot of it water-based rather than land-based.
Oh, wow.
So it's right on the Chobe River. And we're staying right in the Chobe Lodge, which is another really 5-star like I say 5-star hotel, 5-star lodge, and that's right on the river, and you do a lot of the safaris from the river. So that'll be something a little bit different for me, and it's something that I probably wouldn't do with Albie yet. He's too young for that.
Too young to appreciate it, yeah.
Absolutely. And he's a little bit loud like me. He would probably make us somebody's breakfast on a safari, so maybe in another couple of years for that. So that's quite nice to experience through work.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I'm very appreciative of our product department putting that one together.
The Africa programme is amazing though,
it's
because
incredible.
So many people think when you're talking about Africa, it's South Africa and that's where it ends. And
No.
while South Africa is an incredible destination, the Africa is just,
Yeah.
you know, I think once you've been to Africa, you definitely leave a little bit of your heart in Africa.
Well, this will be my first time.
Oh, you'll love it.
So a couple of years ago, we actually put 3 years worth of a South Africa lodge on sale, and it was really, I'll be honest, it's because our short haul was being a little bit worked on, and you guys as the agents were a little bit on our back to get the next year on. So it was back in 2023. So we gave you guys 23, 24 and 25 for this one South Africa lodge, and we were selling it just over £2,000, and it sold out in 4 days for
Amazing.
3 years worth of that. I was just back from maternity. I was rocking back and forward in a dark room, like, what are we going to sell in July? But that then became, that's where our South Africa, not just South Africa, that's where our Africa programme was born.
Began, yeah.
So what we did is just a little bit of Africa here and there. We've now launched our full Africa programme where you've got 18 different safaris, but it's spread right throughout Africa. And we've just recently won the Africa Award at the British Travel Awards.
Oh, wow.
Which is the first time that we've ever won that one, which is really, really good for the company size we are.
Yeah.
We're very, very humble, which is good. So, yeah, so that's just gone from strength to strength as well. We're always looking, because we are, our capacity is fantastically sold already for 2026. 2027's on sale, and we're already just about to launch 2028 for that too, which is
and
very good.
It does seem that it's so far in advance, but not for these bucket list trips.
Not
you
at
know,
all.
what is the point of going into this travel agent? I'm not saying people don't do this and like booking next week. Half the fun of going on these bucket list trips is the planning, the excitement, you know, the winding your family and friends up. That's only so many more sleeps to your amazing trip.
That's me right now.
I know, but that's what it's about, isn't it?
I still get that excitement. 20 odd years in the business, I still get really excited about my job and new product, and I can't wait to come in and tell you guys at LEH about it, and you guys get really excited, you get really excited, and I just think that's nice. And I just don't understand why people wouldn't go into a travel agent now and be a part of that, because sometimes they would never know that's available.
Exactly.
And I'll let you into a secret, because one of my agents, somebody down south, told me just not that long ago that if you go on a safari in 2027, it'll only cost you 2 takeaways a month.
There you go.
Now, that was on, she'd broken it down monthly. This girl had only just started, I'd just done her new to travel training, and she sold 6 South Africas in the first maybe 8 weeks being in the shop. Now, people could be, as you know, in travel 20 years and not sell 8 South Africa or 6 South Africa.
Well done her, that's great.
And I asked her how she did it, and she said she loved my training, so that was good. And she went back into branch, and she couldn't sell turkey or Benidorm or anything. She wasn't trained up for that yet. So she would offer a customer a brochure. Would you like to have a wee flick through? Well, maybe Linda's, I'll be with you in a second. Did you realise that you could go to South Africa in 2027 and only cost you 2 takeaways a month? And customers loved that. They absolutely loved it. So the chances are they've booked that 2027 tour, and then they've sat down with a more experienced sales consultant and booked their late deal for 2025. The chances are that customer's going to come back and book their 2026 holiday too, and they're going to retain that. And that she's already started to build relationships with customers, and she's not even a year in the business now. And that is literally because
to Scotland.
a few people. Full disclosure, I have told everybody in Scotland that story, because I went home and says to my husband, we need to stop spending so much money on takeaways, because we could book a safari in 2027 or possibly 2028.
I do that with handbags. I work out how many takeaway cost us or whatever, because I could give up my Costa a day or my whatever, my coffee a day.
But people don't think that way, and I think when a lot of people see a price tag, our lead in South Africa safari at the moment is just to over 2,000, so it's 2,200. Now, that's all your flights, all your transfers. It's your full 7 nights in a 4-star or a 5-star lodge. It's all your meals. Some of them come all-inclusive as standard. Some of them you can add an all-inclusive if you want it. But that's 6 game drives, actually, inside the game lodge in and around where you're staying. Your 6 game drives. We also do like stargazing at night time. We'll do loads of different experiences. And we'll get local guides coming in to make sure people get as much out of that destination as possible. So people think, yes, it is a once-in-a-lifetime trip, but it's probably not that much more. So why wait till your 40th, your 50th, your 60th, or a wedding anniversary? Or no, life is too short, so why not go and see the world a little bit? And if you do save or maybe book that little bit further in advance, then you're not going to miss the money, that the difference it would be for you booking something late anyway. So that would be my recommendation when you're looking at something like that.
You've sold it to me. I think since
Paul's going to be phoning me up. I'm going to be costing him a fortune.
On my bucket list, and I'm going to do it, I think definitely before 27, because I don't think I can afford it for 26, is Antarctica. That's definitely...
and it's a bit cold for me.
I just want to... Somebody told me this crazy statistic that only 0.2% of the world's population ever get to go to Antarctica. Now, Paul doesn't want to go. But he's either going to go or I'll go myself. I'm definitely going to do it. And it's just about ticking it off your bucket list, because life is too short.
I'm just working through my list, but if I see snow, I want to ski on it.
To be fair, you've been away probably more than me in the last few years, because I watch your Instagram, your Facebook.
You're just giving my husband leverage here, Linda.
But I think since COVID, what we've started doing is giving people the option to pay holidays up. That's quite a new thing for us.
Well, that's where that 2 takeaways a month thing came in.
You know, it's booked for a, X amount deposit and then monthly payments.
Yeah, you don't miss it.
You don't miss it. No. Because you're going to spend it anyway.
Yeah.
And it's just about giving people that option. Yep. If you like 2 takeaways a month, I'm going to use that actually, or get my staff to use it for sure.
I put it into trainings all the time, and it does it because everybody eats takeaways. It just resonates with so many people going, and it doesn't mean that you need to give that up, It's just showing that money that you spend on
Your
being
waistline,
in hall
your
on a
waist.
Saturday. It's
Oh, I know. Home bargains for a bubble bath and spending £40.
I know. It is true. Some of the life luxuries that we can live without, but look what you're going to get in maybe 2 years' time for that. And it flies in, doesn't it? It comes around so quickly. And before you know it, it's paid up. You've not missed it. And then your tickets are through the door and you're on your way on a South Africa safari. Or you're on the way to on the bullet train in Japan, or all these different destinations that people would aspire to go to. So many people say to me in branch, I had a customer in the other day and they'll go, oh, I've always wanted to go there. But they just don't realise how affordable it is.
Or how easy it is to do it.
Or how easy it is.
And with
Especially when you
Newmarket,
speak to
they make
people
it easy because it's... now, tell me, is there a UK rep from departure, or is it all local guides that you use?
So the tour manager will meet everybody when they land. And then and they will be with the tour the whole time that they're there.
Okay, so from start to finish.
Yeah, because we've obviously got so many different departures, just like the Scottish departure and stuff. We can't pick a flight for them to fly out. So, and we also like to employ people that are local as well. So they'll have a tour manager the whole time of the tour. And then some of the tours will also have a local guide come in and then maybe pop in and out. So it's just to make sure people get the most out of that destination and the most out of their experience. But they'll always have a tour manager, just sometimes as well as a local guide.
And then when they're on their tour, it's not absolutely so fast-paced, they need a holiday at the end of it. No. They've got free time as well.
Absolutely. There's a lot of our holidays like that. We spoke a lot about Africa, but a lot of them come with maybe a beach extension in Mozambique or Mauritius beach extensions, for instance. We do a lot of that. We do a lot of tours where the customers get to pick where they stay. So we do everything from 3-star right up to 5-star, or bed and breakfast right up to all-inclusive. So it's really just suited to the needs of the customer, and they could do as much or as little as they want. So, and that's all booked before they go. And then they can have, we've got some tours that have even got some free time all day, or they could book another optional tour so they could fill their time as much as they want.
Yeah, because I've noticed that you can do optional excursions as well, because not everybody's going to want to do every single thing. They are going to want to
That's it.
be
Most
independent.
people do them, actually, because you're there and you want to experience it.
Yeah.
Like some of the optional ones in India we've spoke about are like £19 and stuff like that. So it's not always, a lot of people think, oh, how much have I got to add and stuff. That one in India is pretty much the most one that people sometimes do and sometimes don't. But other than that, they're not expensive at all. But the tour comes with so much as standard anyway.
You don't need to do
sometimes
the
nice
additional.
just to enjoy your hotel and stuff. So again, it depends on the needs of the customers, but we've got all of that covered.
Yeah. So thank you so much. It's just about putting it out there to customers, giving them the options.
Yes.
And it's so easy. It's literally not quite door to door, but near airport to airport.
That's
it's very, very easy. And if Newmarket don't do it, then it's probably not worth doing, because you do have such a wide variety. And another thing that we spoke about the Wimbledon trips. Another really popular thing with Newmarket is the Andrew Rue tours.
The man with the mullet, I call him.
I've seen him several times. I'm not a fan, but my old uncle was, and I had to go and see him every single year. And I am blown away by the fan base.
It's incredible. It's worse than a One Direction or a Taylor Swift concert.
Yes.
Just a little bit elderly.
But to go for it, because I've been at the Hydro, and if you're at as you say, a One Direction gig, you're told to sit down. But these folk are up doing the ballroom
they're up
dancing.
doing the waltz.
I know.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's really good atmosphere and stuff like that as well. Our customers, we've got so much repeat business on customers doing that. But yeah, we've got them all over. We've got them all, like Maastricht is obviously probably the big one. His hometown, but we've got like Christmas concerts in Amsterdam, and we've got some of the UK ones as well. But yeah, it's madness. As soon as we release it.
And they don't just book once, they book again and again and again. It's the fan base is so loyal.
It's very loyal.
A bit mad.
Like travel agents to Newmarket Holidays.
And the other popular thing we find with Newmarket is river cruising as well.
River cruising, yeah, we do a lot of the rivers right throughout Europe and stuff. And we've actually teamed up a new one that you do a river cruise and includes going to one of the Andre Rieu concerts. So we've kind of tied in.
Tick, tick.
So you can do the 2 in 1. That's actually in January, so it's quite a nice time just after Christmas and New Year. So you do the nice river cruise, and then you get to see one of the Andre Rieu concerts as well. So we've thought about that.
And river cruising used to be, again, it was old people, but it's not at all. I've done several river cruises and absolutely loved it. And the other thing is you can do it all year round.
Great atmosphere on them.
You don't have to go and do a river cruise in July and August when the rivers have dried up because it's too hot. You can go in January when it's cold, get wrapped up and go and see these lovely cities. And
I always think, I've not done it yet, and I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I would love to do a river cruise at Christmas time.
For the Christmas markets.
But see it from the river. So when you're sailing up the rivers, you see all the lights of the Christmas markets and stuff. I think that would be nice.
But you like the sun, so...
That's just an added extra. Just don't tell Chris.
Don't tell Chris, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing all that Newmarket has to offer.
Thank you for having me.
And taking the long drive down to...
Yes.
I was going to say sunny Ayrshire, but it's not very sunny today.
No, I know.
It's cold. So, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I've loved it.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, thank you so much for joining us in another episode of Let's Talk About Travel. And join us again next week for another guest.